Did you say our title?
Oh, wait. You say your title.
Yeah.
And others.
And others.
Guys, wait, we'll say that in my introduction.
When something momentous happens to you, you're always aware of how momentous it is in the moment it's happening to you. You know it's important. You know it's going to have an impact, but you don't think about it that way. And if you live through it, you just go on living, and the experience becomes a part
of who you are, of who you'll be.
It's all you know.
It's all you need to know, except when it's not.
But knowing and doing
And knowing
are two different things, and I didn't know what to do. Shh. I didn't know what to do.
It's natural to be afraid when something scary or dangerous happens to you.
When your body thinks it is in danger, it will respond with neurobiological chemicals that will make it more alert.
triggering the fight or flight response can help us to physically survive life-threatening events.
But how the brain and the psyche respond to trauma is very different.
In the aftermath of a traumatic incident that occurred when she was 13 years old, Amanda developed dissociative identity disorder, also known as multiple personality syndrome.
Journey through the mind of Amanda as she struggles to cope with her mental illness.
And pieces together the devastating event that broke her into many different personas.
And others.
By Dennis Bush. Having other people tell you what to do doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't make the decision any easier. Especially if what they're telling you to do seems like the worst possible thing that could happen. The worst possible thing you could do.
And you don't get a vote, even when you're 18 and you're supposed to have the right to vote. You don't really get to vote because what's at stake is serious, and you're not prepared to make that kind of decision. And you start to wonder, what good is voting if someone takes that right away?
Stop complaining. Accept what's meant to be. Things that happen are meant to be, and you can't argue with what is supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to happen. I mean, I wasn't even supposed to be there that day. Being there when it happened was an accident.
And the accident was my fault. It's always my fault when bad things happen. I'm bad luck. But bad things happen even when I close my eyes and I try to be invisible. I try. But when I open my eyes, I see myself in her mirror. I see myself in her eyes, and you're not invisible if you can see yourself in somebody else's eyes.
I see my face when I look in the mirror. I see my face. Somebody else's eyes are looking back at me. Somebody else's eyes from inside my head, watching me from inside, and I don't know what to do.
And when somebody tells you to do something, you do it. You don't ask questions. You don't discuss it like your opinion matters. You do it. Good. Now we understand each other.
And the walls and the ceilings were painted with zebra stripes. Except they're not black and white like a zebra. They're periwinkle and white. Periwinkle's a kind of blue, and it's also the name of a doll I had when I was 5. I got the doll for my birthday. I lost her about 6 months after that. Accidents happen when you're not expecting an accident to happen. That's how it works!
And I will always protect you. Can you? Actus me in vito factus, non est meus actus.
Actus me in vito factus non est meus actus.
The act done by me against my will is not my act.
The act done by me against my will is not my act.
I didn't have a choice!
Uno plures.
Ex uno plures. From one, many.
From one, many.
And you can't argue with what is supposed to be.
And what's at stake is serious.
I'm tired of the girls complaining. Complaining is a sign of weakness.
And it doesn't help to make anything better. Complaining is just words mixed with attitude. Actions make a difference. Actions can change a situation from bad to good.
Unless the situation is so bad that actions won't make a difference.
And then you're left feeling even worse than you did before. And you start to think, can anybody really make a difference?
And you're scared.
Because actions are supposed to speak louder than words. But
The words are being screamed at you so loudly.
and somebody else's eyes start staring back, or start staring out from inside your head.
And I will protect you. Always. I will always protect you. Make sure you're safe. Once, I got a fortune at a Chinese restaurant that said,
You are the guardian of everything good and true. I put it in my pocket. To be honest, when I said I got the fortune in a cookie at a Chinese restaurant, I was just guessing that's what happened. I don't remember going to a Chinese restaurant, so I couldn't remember getting a fortune or putting the fortune in my pocket. But that's where the fortune was, so I put the pieces of the puzzle together. I have to do that a lot.
Put the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out how things happened and when they happened and
If they really happened to me.
or if I'm just getting the leftovers of somebody else's life. So I have to make it feel like it's mine.
Like the pieces are mine. Finding the fortune gave me a purpose more than it provided information. You are the guardian of everything good and true. So in my mind, well, it is my mind, I am the guardian of good and true.
You take the good with the bad. You don't get a vote. You take what comes your way and you work with it. I do my best to try to fill in the blanks, the holes in my memories. It's like I disappear. It's like being asleep and you're not asleep. And I wake up in the strangest places. I find myself in a parking lot and I don't remember driving there. I look in the mirror and I see myself in clothes that I never bought. And I see other people's eyes inside my head looking back at me. It wasn't always this way. It always isn't always. And forever can end in a heartbeat. Sometimes my head feels heavy, like I have a cold and I've taken a double dose of NyQuil, like a thick gray fog that's hard to move through. And then what I see starts to change and it's like I'm in a house, my house, and then it's like in the blink of an eye I'm inside a car and I'm backing out the driveway, but I can see myself looking out of the window. I see myself looking at me, and the house gets farther away, like the driveway's a mile long and I'm at the end of it, and I can't see her in the window. I disappear!
And I wait till it's quiet. Till I'm sure nobody else is going to take over. And I kind of tiptoe forward to take my turn. But just when I'm feeling like everything's going to be quiet and safe and happy, someone takes me somewhere. Someone outside, not someone inside. And so I go along, because I'm too afraid to say no. So I go wherever they take me. Pretend that I'm not there. Hoping that if they look into my eyes, they see her and not me.
And a lot of people are fooled by that.
And a lot of people don't pay attention to whose eyes they see looking back at them. And I count on that. I count on people not paying attention. I count on their fear, their weakness, and I take advantage of it.
Weakness gives way to strength.
The others give way to me. They can't help it. It's the way it's supposed to be, the way it has to be. Somebody has to be in control. Somebody has to be strong and fearless,
And you don't get a vote?
like a gunshot to the head.
Nobody asks your opinion before they shoot you in the head.
It's life or death.
I keep waiting for other people to give me permission.
And when they don't, I get resentful.
I get annoyed at myself and everybody else. I guess on some level, we all know what's going on. I find little scraps of paper with messages on them all over the house. I'm not the one writing them, but I'm definitely the one finding them. And when my eyes are the one looking back at me in the mirror, I put all the scraps on the table and try to put them together like a puzzle. But the pieces don't fit together. I'm hoping somebody gives me a message about the messages.
My dad got the message loud and clear. Mom told me I had to stay home with me. I had a fever and a sore throat and she was making me stay home from school. She had an important meeting and she couldn't reschedule it. She told my dad he needed to step up, pull his weight, and my dad said,
I've got this. I've got everything under control.
so my mom went to her meeting and my dad said,
Get dressed. I'm taking you to work with me.
I told him,
That's not what Mom said you were supposed to do.
and he rolled his eyes like he was the 13-year-old girl
Instead of me.
So I got dressed. I went to my dad's office with him. 13 years ago today. When we got to his office, my dad said,
Lie on the couch, take a nap, think about getting better.
so I did. I laid on the couch in his office. It was so quiet in his office. He's a lawyer.
A divorce lawyer mostly.
His office had enough books to be a library, and it was quiet like a library too.
And I wait till it's quiet. I wanted to stay quiet. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to remember.
And you're scared because actions are supposed to speak louder than words, but you know the words are going to be screamed at you because you've had the nightmares. Her nightmares bleed into mine.
I'm scared.
And I will protect you. Always. I will always protect you. And look after you and make sure you're okay. Always.
And I must have fallen asleep, taken a nap, drifted off.
Shh.
When I woke up, there were two guys in my dad's office, and I thought I was dreaming because why would there be people in my dad's office while I was asleep on the couch? And then I noticed my dad was tied to a chair.
Dad?
I screamed, "Stop!" And the guy said, "Shut up!" I ran toward the door, but the other guy grabbed me and held my arms behind my back. I kicked him and yelled, "Let me go!" And he said, "You don't get a vote." I wanted to know why nobody was helping me. If somebody screams, you should probably go check on them because usually people don't scream for no reason. I must have read my mind because he said, "Everybody's gone for the day." He gave me a wicked smile, and he held up his hand, 5 fingers, waving at me. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other guy started talking to my dad. "You shouldn't have let it happen, Jerry! You should have done something!" My dad was his divorce lawyer, and he lost custody of his kids and had to pay his ex-wife a lot of money. He wasn't happy about it. My dad said, "I wasn't the only one. You had a legal team. I wasn't even the lead attorney on your case." And the guy laughed, or giggled, and laughed, and he said, "It's kind of like that phrase on the back of the coins. E pluribus unum. From many, one. We put all your names in a hat, and yours is the one we picked. E pluribus unum. From many, one. And you're the one." His eyes looked like the lights were out in his brain. It was so dark, cold. It made me shiver. I told my dad to stand up, but my dad said, "Let's talk about this like rational people. I told you to stand up, and when somebody tells you to do something, you do it. You don't ask questions. You don't discuss it like your opinion matters. You do it." Good. Now we understand each other. The guy put a gun in my right hand and lifted my hand up, extending my arm so the gun was pointed at my dad's head. Then the guy held a gun against my dad's heart, and he looked at me with his no pretty home eyes. "You're going to shoot your dad, and if you don't, I'm going to shoot him. If you shoot him, we'll let you go. We won't hurt you." My dad had tears running down his face. "Do what he says, sweetie. It's the only way I can protect you. To make sure you're safe." "And when somebody tells you to do something, you do it! You do it! You do it!" And it was quiet. So quiet. Even though I hadn't moved, I was still in my dad's office, and he was lying on the floor. It was like I was back at home, inside my house. And in the blink of an eye, it's like I was in a car, backing out of a driveway, but I could still see myself looking out of the window, my bedroom window, and I could see the periwinkle and white striped walls, and I could see myself looking back at myself, and the house gets farther away, like the driveway's a mile long, and she's at the end of it, and I can't see her from the window. Actus me in vito factus non est meus actus. The act done by me against my will is not my act. I didn't have a choice. Shh. I didn't have a choice. A vote. A chance.
We'll be strong for you.
Protect you. Ex uno pluribus. From one.
Many.
Woo.